41 meters. This message will repeat in 5 seconds.
You ever get that feeling that one choice could change your whole life? I want that love and that family, and I want it with you. Life is full of endless possibilities.
Ordinary Joe, season finale next Monday.
Tubes in.
Do you okay, Marty?
Hey, look! Opening that door will put everyone out here at risk. We're on a ticking clock here, guys.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Javier Bardem. NBC Tonight.
Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response. Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion. News begins with your forecast.
I'm Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox, and our Valley Cam shows a touch of haze out there yet again. We are continuing to track visibility. It's now less than 2 miles in Merced, exactly 2 miles in Visalia, and a little bit better for the rest of the valley. But visibility, again, could be an issue for us. We're in the 40s to low 50s, 52 right now in Fresno. Our satellite picture. And for the rest of the week, patchy morning fog at least every day, and the presence of fog will have a big say in how warm it gets each day. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. KSEE 24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KSEE 24 News at 11.
Working extra hours, taking extra tables.
Local restaurant industry trying to stay afloat as the latest COVID surge impacts staffing levels and the ability to serve customers. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Barugian. Alexon is off tonight, and we start with some breaking news. A shooting investigation underway in the community of Orange Cove. First responders were called to the area of 10th and C Streets about an hour ago. We do have a reporter on the way to that location. We'll bring you the latest information as it becomes available here on KSEE 24 News. The restaurant industry struggling with staffing shortages, from not having enough workers in general to employees out sick with COVID. But the Fresno County Health Department giving restaurants some new tools to help out. KSEE 24's Catherine Phillips spoke with restaurant workers and owners about the effort.
With cases still high and demand for tests even higher, restaurants are especially feeling the surge of COVID-19 during this raid. The Department of Health hopes per restaurant. It's the latest effort from the Fresno County Department of Health and the California Restaurant Association to help keep restaurant workers safe and healthy. President of the association in Fresno and owner of Papi's Mexican Grill, Ruel Gutierrez, says with the latest surge from the Omicron variant, restaurants are seeing temporarily.
Here, we probably have already had about 30 different businesses come in. I actually had a lady today all the way from Selma, from a taqueria, pick up a few tests for her business today as well.
Papi's is one of the handful of test pickup sites across the county. He says having the test on hand when they need one prevents roadblocks like cost, long lines at centers, and staff just not being able to find one. The health department says they have 84,000 test kits to give out to restaurants across the county.
We want to help you. We want to help you get, stay open and keep your employees healthy as well.
Bartender and server Victoria Ponce says when lots of employees were out sick last week, they felt the impacts.
Working extra hours, taking extra tables.
She says having tests on hand should help, but also wants customers to know they're trying their best.
Give us some patience. We know that whether that be celebrating or We are very much trying to make a living, so just be patient with us and we'll be patient with you.
Now, if you are a restaurant owner and you haven't picked up these tests yet, we will have a full breakdown on yourcentralvalley.com of where you can go to get these tests for your business. Reporting in Fresno, Catherine Phillips, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
SOS, an urgent message. Overwhelmed by the latest COVID surge. Not only are they getting an influx of patients, but hospital officials say they are seeing a record number of employees who have COVID. Ambulance providers have stopped transporting non-emergency calls to the ER as several local hospitals.
Today, I have 284 employees that are out on a COVID leave of absence.
We have over 10% of our staff and faculty and residents out with COVID.
It's more than 100 hospital employees, at least more than 100.
The plea to residents remains the same: get vaccinated and wear a mask. Doctors say the good news is that the average hospital stay with the Omicron is only a week compared to 2 weeks during the Delta variant surge last year. Homeless activity may be to blame for a fire that destroyed 5 storage units in south central Fresno. Fire way about 6:30 tonight, where they discovered another 6 units with smoke damage.
Unfortunately, the cameras that the facility has obviously are on the front side, so the footage only shows the fire starting, no cause or determination of who was in or who was involved.
Investigators say it appears someone was living in one of the units, but no one was hurt by the
coordinate the effort.
It's an honor for us to be able to participate and to pay our respects.
The procession arrived at the Lyle Funeral Home in downtown Fresno, where Captain Moyle's casket in American flag.
It just shows the family nature of the fire service and just how passionate we are about what we do, and when we lose one of our own, you know how devastating it is, because it is a family member. Regardless of department, it's a family member.
Colleagues say he was on the force since 2008. Moyle leaves behind a wife and young daughter. He was only 38 years old. In the studio, Jennifer.
Remembering civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today, St. John's Cathedral held its annual MLK March. Our Karen Alvarez with more on how King's legacy continues to be the backbone for equality.
The streets of downtown Fresno blocked as hundreds of people, city and state leaders marched side by side to celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His photo at the forefront of today's march, a reminder of his work towards achieving equality.
Dr. King was definitely one of my original heroes as a child, just kind of looking up to what I was taught about what he had to go through.
For Tahira Edward, it's become a yearly tradition to bring her children out to march alongside community members to reflect on Dr. King's life.
So they can know and learn their history and learn about the civil rights movement, learn about connecting with people, bring my family together and reflect on those things.
Before the march ended at the Veterans Memorial Hall, marchgoers made a stop at Fresno City Hall. There, city and state leaders, along with law enforcement, shared words of unity to call on lawmakers.
We've got to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, and we've got to ensure that we maintain the right to vote for every American.
Mayor Jerry Dyer sharing his vision of a one Fresno, championing equality and security for all Fresnans.
We need to come together as a community. And regardless of where you live, whether it is in a crime-infested neighborhood in one part of Fresno or a gated community in another part of Fresno, we all have things in common that we stand for.
Signs, banners, and music were a staple of today's march to honor the lifelong American hero, Dr. King, whose legacy continues to ring loud and transcend generations.
I think it's important for us to be here as a youth because we need to remember what our ancestors began to do years ago, and we just want to keep that going.
Karen Alvarez, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
And there was also a community march in Tulare today, hosted by the Alliance of African People. March down Martin Luther. Organizers hoping the annual march will be a tradition that families can pass from generation to generation. Martin Luther King Day, also a time to give back to the community, and the mayor issuing a challenge to the residents of Fresno. Today collecting trash, trees. Mayor Dyer says what started as a campaign initiative has become a community movement.
People had become accustomed to debris and trash in their neighborhoods and in their alleyways. And we set forth at that time to change the norm, to make sure that people would no longer drive by or walk by a piece of trash and let it remain. That was the purpose of Beautify Fresno.
And Dyer says Beautify Fresno has now cleaned up more than 90,000 pounds of trash. And today he set a goal for 2022, challenging residents to pick up 1 million pounds of trash this year. Today, beloved actress Betty White would have been 100 years old, and in honor of Hollywood's gold, took part in the Betty White Challenge, donating to local animal shelters and other nonprofits dedicated to helping our four-legged friends. Valley Animal Center says they got over $1,700, and it's coming just at the right time.
Go down a bit. After the at every shelter, so this day has been great so far, and we are absolutely thankful.
If you couldn't give today, Sanchez says, they're always grateful for financial donations as well as other types of donations. Toys. Still to information on a hostage standoff at a Texas synagogue on Saturday. What authorities are now saying about the shots fired that day that left the suspect dead, and why creativity is a big part of one Olympic sport that impacted both on and off the slopes.
Your weather headlines tonight: patchy dense fog again, but clearing in the afternoon. Good clearing, I think, and staying on the warm side. The last of an isolated sprinkle here and there. That's done now. We're going to stay dry for the rest of the week. Your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. That'll be in the low range tomorrow, then medium through Friday. Alder and juniper, the predominant pollens. I'll have your complete forecast as KSEE 24 News continues.
The 2022 Subaru Crosstrek is as powerful as your sense of adventure. Its 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine makes exploring fun. Sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard. And the Crosstrek has the best resale value in its class for 2 years running. Love.
Get
to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Last week, Jimmy was a winning bet.
This was a mistake! I am keeping this, buddy.
This week, he welcomes Jessica Bardem and
The January Tempur-Pedic event is on at Sleep More, inside More Furniture.
Come in to check out the incredible selection of Tempur-Pedic mattresses and foundations for your best sleep.
And right now, you'll get free white glove delivery and no interest financing until 2027.
That's not all. In addition to your perfect sleep system, you'll also get a $300 More Furniture gift card to be used on any furniture purchase and get free white glove delivery for all of 2022.
There's no reason to hesitate on the better night's sleep at the best value only at Sleep More, inside More Furniture.
Win a trip to Hawaii in the Pro Football Challenge. Enter at yourcentralvalley.com.
Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, our temperatures today, well, they got a little bit warmer than normal in the afternoon. Morning low, not so much. We're right at 41. That is average. We had some visibility issues this morning. We've even had a couple of sprinkles here and there. We'll get to that in a moment. But our high, almost 10 degrees above normal. It's 64 today. That's it. The rest of the valley, all zero in there. They're like Visalia way, where visibility has kind of dropped. It's down as low as 2 miles right now. It's a little less than that in Merced, 1.5 miles, 4 miles in Hanford, 5 in Madera and Porterville, and 7 miles right now in Fresno, where the temperature is currently 52. Same in Hanford, Lemoore, Madera, 48 in Porterville, and 50 in Visalia. Our live radar shows that our skies are pretty clear. Again, you got a couple of dots of green. A lot of that's virga, meaning that it evaporates before it hits the ground. But you can see that the entire low that was throwing some showers at Southern California, the whole thing is going to be pushing south, and according to Futurecast, it continues to leave, and behind it we get clearing skies. And clearing skies, there's a good news, bad news situation with that. As the skies clear, it allows us to get warmer in the afternoon, but it also allows the fog to come back. Notice that Futurecast fog by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We've got patches of dense fog, but certainly not widespread. And I don't always show you 2 days in advance, but today I will, because on Wednesday, it looks like it's going to be a lot more widespread of an issue, and that's because of the clearing skies that we're expecting Tuesday afternoon. Looking at our valley temperatures tonight, on the warmer side, 44 in Tulare and Joaquin. Madera, 41, same in Chowchilla, and a 40 in Mariposa and in Merced. 4 in Dos Palos, all 64. Coalinga, 64 for Lemoore. Visalia, 63. A little cooler in the South Valley, down to 61 in Delano, 63 also in Porterville. Our air quality, there's going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups in Fresno County, where wood burning is prohibited, otherwise moderate on the valley floor, and even good air quality in Sequoia National Park. Your renewable solar forecast. Better clearing for Tuesday, not so much on Wednesday, better clearing again on Thursday. So it's going to have a lot to do with how much energy we generate, and it's going to have a lot to do with our temperatures. Tonight, 44 will be the overnight low. The clouds are still with us. There will be clearing, and then morning fog turning into a mostly sunny day with a high of 63 tomorrow. Over the next 7 days, our temperatures are going to dip down to 60 degrees on Wednesday. I think we're going to have more dense fog that day. On Thursday, a little bit better clearing than Friday and Saturday. The same type of thing happening. Morning fog, at least patches of it, and then some clearing through the afternoon. High temperatures mid-60s Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday. 64 for Sunday and Monday. Morning low temperatures getting a little bit lower too, at 39 apiece. So it's likely that we'll have at least patches of fog. Widespread forecasts are available on our website. Check it out there. But it looks like we're going to stay dry for a little while, even though we had, oh boy, 3/3 of an inch of rain in Merced today.
Yeah, not much. This forecast is getting a little boring.
It is, right. I'm with you. I would like to see some rain come back and some snow for the mountains.
Yeah, and the fog can go away. Yeah, tomorrow. AJ, thank you. That we saw.
Hi, Steph. You know, I got a dunk from Russell Westbrook you gotta see. And the first Monday night playoff game at night ever turns into a rout. Plus, why Tuesday night could be the perfect time to root on the surging Bulldogs at the Save Mart Center. Sports Central is next.
Anything stop you. COVID-19 vaccines are free. Transportation or in-home appointments are available, and no ID is required. Don't wait. Get vaccinated. Go to myturn.ca.gov.
Fall allergy season has started with grass and weed pollen and high levels of mold in the air. Air pollution makes allergy symptoms worse. Boz Allergy knows coughing, wheezing, and headaches due to allergies and asthma can mimic COVID-19 symptoms, and flu season is starting. Come to Boz Allergy at the first sign of symptoms. Rest assured we'll diagnose and treat you accurately. Stay safe and stay healthy. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
If you're a small business owner or individual that owes $10,000 or more to the IRS or account Tax Board, you need to contact SBA Accounting and Tax Solutions. Our Central Valley Tax Resolution Specialists deal with the government directly, structuring a plan to free you from unfiled returns, wage garnishments, bank levies, and IRS harassment. Call today on how Accounting and Tax Solutions, the rescue squad for troubled taxpayers. We'll help you get your life back.
With age comes wisdom. The wisdom to stay safe by getting a COVID-19 vaccination. Vaccines can protect you from the Delta variant and prevent serious illness. Do the safe thing. Get vaccinated. Go to myturn.ca.gov.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Nissan.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, in LA, Michael Buffer on hand for the first ever Monday night playoff game. Wasn't much of a game. Odell Beckham caught one of Matthew Stafford's 2 touchdown passes, and the Rams defense was dominant, even scoring with a little help from Kyler Murray there. 34-11 the final. The Rams, they're going to visit the Bucs Sunday in the divisional round. The Fresno State men's basketball team off to its best start in 15 years at 12-4 overall. Tuesday offers an affordable change. Yeah, the Dogs will welcome 8 p.m. tip-off. And since Fresno State is 8-0 at home this season, fans can get tickets to this game for only $8. There will also be pregame fun at Campus Point and a good deal on a pregame meal at the SMC starting at 7 p.m. Now remember, fans 3 years or older must be fully vaccinated or have a negative PCR test within 2 days to attend the game.
I know we have different things going on with COVID. I know we're getting back from break, so hopefully we get a good student section here once we start getting back from break. That's very important. And, our team and our staff, we love the Valley, so we're hoping that they just come out as much as they possibly can.
Now, the reason to go? Well, you'll get an up-close look at the impressive talent that is Bulldog forward Orlando Robinson. Big O was named Mountain West Player of the Week Monday after averaging nearly 27-11 in wins over San Jose State and UNLV. By the way, he was also named Lute Olson National Player of the Week Monday. Orlando wasn't the only Bulldog getting some. Lavender was named Conference Player of the Week on the women's side. She nearly averaged a triple-double last week in a pair of wins. Meantime, no fans for Fresno Pacific hoops right now, but the Sunbirds still put on a good show for those watching their doubleheader online Monday. The former Emmanuel 3-3, 8 points. They moved their record to 9-4. The women are 5-6 overall. Finally, that video a little better than the rest. From Monday, it's Bemis' best.
Their bench is just 2 out of 12 from beyond the arc.
Russ! Throw it down! Throw it down, Russ! Getting into the paint.
Oh, some vintage Russell Westbrook right there. He had 15 as the Lakers beat the Jazz 101-95. And perhaps more importantly, Russ's facial on Rudy Gobert gets him a coveted spot in Bemis' best. How about that? One high school note before I go. Mount Whitney boys basketball beat Bakersfield Christian 58-53 Monday. The Pioneers now 20-0. We'll be right back.
Accelerated Urgent Care is now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
The happiest anyone who owns a Honda. They just love that legendary reliability. The American Customer Satisfaction Index agrees. They say Honda has the happiest drivers and is the most fun to drive, period. And with thousands of new Hondas on the way, happy customers are taking delivery daily. So come in and buy or reserve yours today. Valley.
Spain, London, Milwaukee. These are some exotic places you could travel to if you win the Tachi Palace's $280,000 Road to Riches hot seats. Every Friday in January from 6 to 10 p.m., 4 guests will be drawn every 30 minutes to play and win up to $4,000 in cash and a $4,000 travel voucher. Hello, Richie Vacation. It's the $280,000 Road to Riches hot seats only at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort in Lemoore.
I was denied my Social Security disability claim, even though I can't work.
I'm so frustrated dealing with the government, and the last thing I want is some faceless lawyer
on the phone. I want personal attention.
Someone experienced
who knows our local legal system
and will fight for me.
When you can't work, the law offices of Robert Ishikawa will fight to get you Social Security disability benefits. Call 559-477-4487. Social Security disability.
Urgent Care now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
Breaking news from the top of the show, a shooting investigation right now in the community of Orange Cove. KSEE 24's Jennifer Ortega joining us live from the scene. And Jennifer, what do we know at this point?
Yeah, Stephanie, we just got to the scene a couple moments ago. Not a whole lot of information just yet, but you can see those blue lights. Officials have the area blocked off. We're on 10th and C Street in Orange Cove. It looks like they have multiple sections here blocked off, about 3 houses in each section. Now, here's what we know. A call came in just after 10 o'clock of a possible shooting in this neighborhood, reportedly involving a child. We're still working on confirming those details. Again, like I said, a possible shooting. They have the area blocked off in multiple sections, and I can see a police officer actually walking around right now with a flashlight, looking at the floor. Still working on investigating to see exactly what's going on. Now, this call, again, came in around 10 o'clock today. It's a very developing story. As soon as we get more information, we'll pass it along. Live in Orange Cove, Jennifer Ortega, KSEE 24.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. New details emerging tonight about the deadly hostage standoff at a Texas synagogue over the weekend. The FBI now says its hostage rescue team was responsible for shooting and killing the gunman who took 4 people hostage at the congregation Beth Israel in Colleyville, Texas on Saturday. The gunman, identified as 44-year-old Malik Faisal Akram, a 44-year-old British citizen. Investigators say it's not his weapon first or at all, but they say agents' actions were justified. The standoff is considered terrorism related and an attack on the Jewish community. Coming up on KSEE 24 News at 11, getting creative on the slopes. We'll hear from a talent for the gold at the winner.
Fun facts. Did you know there are customers who got their solar with another company that have come back to solar negotiators because of problems they didn't foresee? Do you really want to worry about all this yourself? solar success.
MyCarPark.com offers an exciting concept in car buying. Convenience. We have 500 cars in stock and we'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Efficiency. We value your time.
Our goal is to get you in and out in 60 minutes or less. Looking to upgrade? Get a fast 15-minute appraisal.
We want you to be happy about your purchase, so all your questions will be answered honestly and professionally.
Convenience, efficiency, transparency. MyCarPark.com, where buying a car is like a walk in the park.
California, the future should be built for everyone. So we gave the 2021 Ford F-150 the only full hybrid engine available in the class. Built it to power ideas anywhere with an available ProPower onboard generator and a new interior designed to keep you connected. This is a new generation of F-Series, the best-selling truck for 44 years, and it's only the beginning. Ford F-150 and Ranger with 0% financing for 60 months. Only at your California Ford dealers, where the future comes standard.
The January Tempur-Pedic event is on at Sleep More Inside More Furniture.
Come in to check out the incredible selection of Tempur-Pedic mattresses and foundations for your best sleep.
And right now, you'll get free white glove delivery and no interest financing until 2027.
That's not all. In addition to your perfect sleep system, you'll also get a $300 More Furniture gift card to be used on any furniture purchase and get free white glove delivery for all of 2020.
Night's sleep at the best value only at Sleep More Inside More Furniture.
COVID is an everyday concern, and testing remains critical. If you're traveling, have been exposed to or having symptoms, Premium Urgent Care offers online appointment setting at convenient Valley locations and same-day urgent care.
Fun facts.
Did you know Solar Negotiators is the best reviewed solar company online?
Did you know that on the dating site planetonly.com, someone commented that I was too hot to handle?
Yeah, you are.
Are often some of the most creative athletes at the Winter Olympics. And when it comes to California native Dusty Henriksen, his creativity extends far beyond his spins and jumps.
So clean. One of the best young up-and-coming slopestyle riders on the planet.
I'm Dusty Henriksen. I am a snow California. Yeah, duct tape wallets. I used to sell to just like make some gas money, whatever. Like hundreds. So then they're like, let's just sell them. So that's what we did.
Do you think you can make us a duct tape wallet?
Lay that. Peel them up. This can be anything you want now. We all kind of think differently and look at stuff differently just from how we've grown up and how we snowboard. There's not a lot more spins you can do these days because like, that's what everyone does is just see who can spin more. So it's like cool to see some people get creative and do something in a weird, different way. Then you're like, oh, there's a whole new world of possibilities right there. Very creative and fun in that aspect because stuff's always changing and avenues are always opening up for more possibilities.
And the Winter Games get underway on February 3rd right here on KSEE 24. And of course, we're very excited about that. Not so excited about the fog that just seems to go on and on.
But so far this season, yeah, I mean, this season we had a good month of rain, then a break, and then a good month of rain, and then and this seems to be the month off. Yes. So if that holds up, that means February is going to be awesome. That means it might be raining and snowing outside during the Olympics, which would be, you know, awesome in every single way. So tomorrow, be on the lookout for patches of fog, some of them locally dense, but nothing widespread. No dense fog advisory. I even just checked the National Weather Service website. Still nothing. Next couple of days, Wednesday may be foggy. And into next week, notice that the temperatures get into the mid-60s. All those numbers are way above normal. Even on Wednesday, when I'm only expecting a high of 60 degrees, that number is still well above normal. Our morning low temperatures close to 40 degrees, a little above or a little below, and that's just right where fog lives. So it's going to be part of our lives for a while until we can get for February.
Yeah,
I'm
might
still
as
feeling
well.
good about it.
And we're not falling behind at this point.
Not yet, but we're getting closer. We're at 5 and a tenth of an inch, and we're normal is 4 inches plus right now.
Okay.
So it's getting closer.
All right. Well, we hope for that rain in February. That does it for us. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.